Hey everyone, so I am back with my twin pregnancy update. So this video is going to cover week 15 and 16. I mentioned in my last pregnancy update that I was not going to be able to do a video for week 15 because I had family coming into town that weekend. And so it's usually on the weekends when I film my videos, so I didn't have time to do anything that weekend. And I know I usually post my pregnancy update videos on Monday, but we have been really busy lately, and we just bought our home, so we've been over there on the weekends, like doing stuff at the house, and so it's been challenging to find some time to like sit down and film these videos, but they're very important to me, so I just wanted to make sure I like finally carved out some time tonight. I'm like, I have to film my video. So I'm here to share everything that's gone on in the last 2 weeks, which has actually been quite a bit, but I'm gonna try to make this video short. I'm not gonna, go on and talk too much, but basically last Wednesday, I'm officially at a point now where I go see a specialist every other weekend or every other week. So I go every 2 weeks and my appointments are on Wednesday. And so last Wednesday I went and saw my specialist, and they measured the twins, and everything so far looks great. She was saying that they both are measuring at exactly 5 ounces each, which is really awesome. And they were measuring, I'm about a week ahead as far as like my measurements go. So when I went to my specialist, I was like 15 weeks and like 6 days pregnant or whatever, but they were measuring around like 16 and a half weeks. So I guess I'm like half a week ahead, not an entire week. One was measuring at like 16 weeks, 2 days, and the other one was measuring at 16 weeks, 4 days, which is really awesome because of course I want nice, big, fat, healthy babies. So, if they can continue on at that growth rate, I'll be very happy with that. And let's see, what else did she say? She just said that their heartbeats looked really great, that one heartbeat was 151 and the other one was 155. So again, great. And I just, so far with this specialist that I see, I have really just been enjoying going there. It's a really great practice, and all the ladies are just really awesome. And every time I go there, I just leave feeling like confident, and I feel like, I don't know, like I just feel good after I leave those appointments, because usually when I go in, I'm a little anxious and I'm kind of like, like what are they gonna see? Is everything okay? And they just usually go great, and the doctors and the nurses are always just like so reassuring, and I just always leave there feeling good. Okay, so another thing I wanted to mention is that I'm still not having any kind of like pregnancy symptoms, like your classic, like cravings or this or that or anything. But something I did notice this past Friday was round ligament pain, and I never had that with Connor. And so it was kind of like a new feeling for me. And if you're not familiar with what round ligament pain is, basically it's kind of like really bad menstrual like cramps, or it could be pains like around your belly button or just like around your stomach. And the way I was feeling it was more like menstrual cramps. And I was really fortunate, like again, I didn't have any kind of round ligament pains with Connor, and I've never really had like menstrual cramps. Like I know some poor girls have like suffered through that. I've just been lucky, I guess, and I've just never really experienced that. And so Friday, like late Friday, I was just sitting at my desk and I started feeling like these ouchies like in my stomach. And I was kind of like, oh, like I'm not really sure, like that kind of hurts, whatever. And so I got up and I like tried to like walk around. I tried to get some water, and they just kept getting like worse and worse and worse. And to a point where it hurt to walk. And to be honest with you, it kind of freaked me out, because I just wasn't really expecting that. I didn't really know what that meant. And so they lasted for about an hour and went away. I like went home, I like rested, and they went away. So I was like, okay, maybe, I don't know. And then the next day, the following Saturday, it happened again about like 8:30 at night, and I just found myself like in a lot of pain, like surprisingly. And again, it just made me nervous because I've just never experienced that before. And again, I didn't feel that with Connor. And so I keep comparing this pregnancy to Connor's pregnancy, and I don't need to do that. I need to like try to find outside resources to compare my pregnancy to, because it's a singleton pregnancy versus a twin pregnancy is just not the same. So I just kept again, it just kind of freaked me out a little bit on Saturday, and we were at our new house, and so we are about an hour away from our new house. So we had to get in the car, drive home, and I was like in the front seat, like kind of curled up in a fetal position, like I just was in pain. By the time we got home, I felt better. I think just because I had rested, and I think I did a lot of activity on Saturday, like with the house stuff, and I probably shouldn't have. So it went away, but then I felt it again on Saturday or Sunday. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so of course, I hit Google, and everything that was coming up was like round ligament pains. I didn't have any kind of like spotting or bleeding or anything like that. It just, my stomach just kind of hurt. So on Monday morning when my doctor's office opened up, I decided to go ahead and call just to verify that that's what I was feeling. Again, I went to Google, and all these other forums for other twin moms were saying that it was round ligament pains, but just because it was something I had never experienced, I just wanted to talk to a nurse and verify that. And so she, of course, was really great, asked me a million questions, and was like, yeah, that's probably what you're feeling. And kind of confirmed that, you know, with the twin pregnancy, your uterus and everything is stretching a lot faster, and you're gonna feel some discomfort at some point. And so it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because it's like I don't want to be in pain, obviously, because that's no fun, but at the same time, the pain kind of equals growth, which of course is what I want. So I just, knowing that that's what was causing my pain made me feel better, that like, okay, this is normal. And again, it's a good thing because it means that they're growing, and this is gonna happen, like duh, you know. So it made me feel better, kind of getting that confirmation. And anytime lately that I've been feeling kind of achy, I just drink a lot of water. I try to lay down and rest. I try to stretch, get up, walk around, and that seems to be helping so far. Again, overall, as far as my symptoms, I don't have any. If anything, I have been feeling really good lately. My energy has been really good. I've been doing a lot of stuff, which again, I probably need to like settle down a little bit. Week 15, I was really sick though. Connor brought home some kind of funk, some kind of sinus cough, something, and it was horrible. Like, so for about 4 or 5 days, I just was so sick. And thankfully I had my regular OBGYN appointment, not my specialist, but just my regular girl doctor appointment. And so I was able to ask her kind of like, what can I take and what can I do? Because I wasn't taking anything, because I wasn't really sure. Again, like, I just want my doctor to confirm these things before I don't want to just go on Google and say, oh, what can I take for a cold while pregnant? You know, I want to ask my doctor. And so she confirmed that I could take like Sudafed, Benadryl, extra strength Tylenol, just to kind of help with the symptoms. And so I did that, and it made me feel better. I just had a really horrible cough, and just, I was sneezing. It was just horrible. Like, we all were so sick. But after that went away, like, my energy came back, and I have just been feeling really great lately. So no nausea, no fatigue, nothing like that. So I've been feeling really good. So far, I have not felt them kick yet at all. If anything, what I think that I'm feeling is kind of like pressure, if that makes any sense. I'm kind of a skeptic about, like, if I feel something, if I'm like, oh, is that a kick or is that a movement or what is this, you know? But there have been several times where I might be laying down and I just feel this like pressure, I guess you could say. It's almost like maybe they are moving or they are kicking, and it's not like a jab, it's just kind of more of this like pressure kind of being like pushed against my stomach, and that's like almost like a tightening in like certain spots, like, so just like pressure. So to me, that is them in there moving around somehow. So it's, again, it's like I just haven't felt those very obvious like movements like that. It's just been more of these like pressure like places, like especially on my left side, because that's kind of where they're sitting right now. Baby A is on the bottom and baby B is on top. And so just every now and then, like especially when I'm laying down, like I'll just kind of feel like this pressure. So no obvious kicks or movements yet, but just kind of, again, pressure. Okay, so here is my 16-week bump shot. And as you can see, I am definitely starting to pop this week. It's kind of the front view. There you go. So it's just this nice, like, it's like sticking out right here. So there's 16 weeks. I don't know, I just feel like my stomach is definitely getting like harder and it's sticking out more, and I've had more people this week ask me if I was pregnant, actually what they say is boy or girl, and I'll say, well, it's 2 boys. And people's reactions are just so funny. They're like, oh wow, amazing, how exciting, congratulations. So that's been kind of fun. But yeah, like I just feel big this week. And last time I went to my regular OBGYN, she told me that I've actually gained 8 pounds. I thought up until this point that I'd only gained 3, but according to her and their scale, I'm actually up 8 pounds, which I feel and she felt is great as far as like my weight gain. And like right on track. You don't want to gain too much weight, but then you also don't want to, not gain enough. So I'm happy with 8 pounds. I'll definitely take that. And another thing I guess I should mention is that like my appetite has not really been, I guess I've just been getting full a lot quicker is the best way to say it. Like I'll notice if I'm trying to eat something, it's like maybe just because I'm starting to not have as much room in my stomach. Like I'll get halfway through a meal and I find myself like, gosh, I'm already starting to feel full, and like I'll be like, trying to get my food down, and I'm like, I'm done, like I don't really want anything else. And so that's kind of been a funny like challenge, because usually I'll like clean my plate, like I'm totally fine with doing that, and but then I'll be hungry like 2 hours later. So it's like I'm having to have smaller meals more frequently, I guess, because I've mentioned this before. I'm kind of bad about like, I would prefer just to have lunch and dinner. I don't really like breakfast, and I'm not a snack person, but I've definitely had to change my eating habits during this pregnancy. And I'm also drinking my protein shakes that I mentioned in one of my, I think it was my last pregnancy video, which have been really great, honestly. I just drink them 1 a day. It's 42 grams of protein, and it's just really low in sugar. It's low in calories, but it's the protein that I need right now, because even my doctor said like, yep, you need to double your protein intake right now. So those have been really helpful. And if you're interested in those, I'll leave a link to those down below. They're just great to drink anyway. I really like them. We've always drank them, but I've been drinking them more, frequently now that I'm pregnant. But I think that's all I have for this update for this week. I hope you guys enjoy. I have another specialist appointment next Wednesday, so I will have an update for you guys next week on how the twins are doing and how everything's looking. So far it's looking really great, so I just hope it continues to go at that pace. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.